Hi, in this lesson, we are going to learn how to find a pattern given a sequence of numbers, and then we're going to see how they increase or decrease, and then continue the pattern by finding the next terms in the pattern. So I will just share my screen right now, and then we can get going with the lesson. So here is our heading, Finding Patterns. And this is what you need to know. So a pattern can be found by looking at how terms in a set change from one term to the next. And so in this case, each one of these numbers right here is a term. Oh, that's a little slow. And so 10's a term, 6 is a term, 11 is a term, 7's a term, 12's a term, and so on. And so when you're finding the pattern in a set of terms so that you can continue it, the first thing that you need to do is look at the first two terms or numbers in the set and observe how they have changed. So I've drawn an arrow already. So to get from 10 to 6, what we are going to have to do is we're going to have to subtract because 10 is bigger than 6. So subtract 4. So 10 minus 4 equals 6. Then step 2 is look at the second and third numbers to see if these have changed in the same way. So now we look 10 to 11. So we know that's going to be increasing. So we know it hasn't changed in the same way. Put a plus sign because we know it's increasing. And then you can count on your fingers or just do it in your head. But 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for those of you who like to see visually. And so that was 5 fingers. So it increases by 5. And then for step 3, once you have the pattern, make sure that it works for all terms or numbers in the set. So continue on. Don't just assume that this is going to be the pattern. It could change depending on what you've got. So go from 11 to 7. We're decreasing now, and that is for probably a pretty good indication that this is going to be plus 5. But let's just see. So 7 to 12 is adding, and then 7 plus 5 is 12. So we know that it goes minus 4, then plus 5, then minus 4, then plus 5. And so the last thing that you need to do is find the next terms. And in this case, we want to know what the next two terms are. So if the pattern goes minus 4, minus 5, minus 4, minus 5, this is what you want to do. Draw an arrow and go, this one was my plus 5. So we're going to go minus 4 next. And then the one after that is going to be plus 5. And then you're going to just follow the rules. So 12 minus 4 equals 8. And then 8 plus 5 equals 13. So the next two terms in the set is 8 and then 13. Let's look at another example. So we're going to look at 5, 6, 8, 11, and 15. So the first thing that we want to do is see how the first to the second changes. So 5 to 6, that's increasing by 1. Then from 6 to 8, that's increasing by 2. Then we've got 8 to 11, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's plus 3. Look at that. It doesn't just repeat to 1. Now to 11 to 15, we're adding again, and that is plus 4. Do you see a pattern there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we were to continue this pattern, we would draw our arches. Don't skip this step. This is important. It makes things a lot easier if you do it this way. So we've got plus 15, or 15 plus 5 equals 20. Then 20 plus 6 equals 26. Then 26 plus 7 equals 33. And to look at one more example, we're going to combine all of the steps into this one page. So we go from 1 to 4. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's plus 3. Then 4 to 3. That's going smaller, so subtract. And 1. Then 3 to 6. We're adding 3. And 6 to 5. We're subtracting 1. So that means that we're going to add 3 here, subtract 1 here, add 3, and subtract 1. So adding 3 is 8, then 7, then 10, then 9. And that's how you do that.